Hello, hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. We're going to be talking about Kringle Candle Christmas Treats. Now, this is one of their 3-wick candles that was released probably about a month ago now. It was kind of a surprise release that Kringle, kind of dropped on all of us, ambassadors included. We had no idea that this was coming. But they launched a fall collection as well as like a holiday collection. I believe that there were 19 fragrances between the two. And basically, these are 3-wick candles that have colored wax, very simple fragrance notes. If you caught my candle chat last week or some of my other like previous sit down videos, I did mention that this is not the future of Kringle 3-wicks. You do notice that the labels on these are not as elevated as their painted 3-wick vessels. This is really Kringle's attempt to basically be resourceful, use up a lot of the colored wax, the fragrance oils, and the vessels that they already have in their warehouse, which is why the price point on these candles are 3 for $33. Yes, you could buy one for, I think, $24.50, but who would do that when you can get 3 of them for $11 each? So that is what I did when I purchased this candle as well as 2 others. I did purchase I think it was called like Warm Banana Loaf, which is a repackage of the Country Candle limited edition of banana bread that was released in the summer of 2024. I did also pick up a candle, I think called Santa's on His Way. I have actually already decluttered that one and given it to my mother-in-law. It smells very much more spring-like, kind of like orange blossom, and my mother-in-law loves fragrances like that, so she was more than happy to take it off my hands. But this fragrance I was intrigued by because when I looked at the fragrance notes, I was very curious to see if this was comparable or a repackage to Country Candle's Holiday Churro, which was a limited edition 2024 Christmas release. I'm going to tell you it is not. But let's go ahead and get into the meat of this review here. So this candle has fragrance notes of fried pastry, cinnamon, brown sugar. The pour date of this candle is September 26th, 2025. So these are relatively newer pours. What does my nose smell? Okay, it is not a repackage of Holiday Churro. Holiday Churro to me was definitely more, there's a little bit more complexity to it. One of the things that I will say about this 3-wick line that Kringle has, kind of come out with this year, these are very simple, basic fragrances. Now, don't take that as me being like, these are bad fragrances, because they're not. This fragrance, you guys, has honestly been a surprise hit for me. This scent to me, the notes that I pick up on the most, it's the cinnamon and brown sugar. Almost to the point, it's funny because I saw Wanda here on YouTube. I believe her channel is called Wax and Things. She had mentioned that her nose detects something like apple in this fragrance. And it's funny because mine does too. Now, is this like an apple cider donut or like one of the like very apple heavy fall fragrances that I would get? No. But apple is not listed here, but I will tell you that my nose detects a hint of it in here. It may just be a little bit of sorcery that my nose is doing with that cinnamon and brown sugar mixed together. But this is a very sweet fragrance. Now, as far as the fried pastry, I don't get a ton of a pastry note in here. There's no bready accord. There's, at least to my nose, maybe the appley note is the fried pastry. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe this is like an apple pastry repackage. I'm not as familiar with all of the country candles that have been around in the past. But to me, this does, again, it has a little bit of apple in there somewhere, but this does not scream fall apple dessert to me. This still very much is appropriate, I feel like, for this time of year as we are going into the Christmas season, as we are going into the winter months. This is a really nice gourmand. This cinnamon note in here is not overly spicy cinnamon. This is not like the cinnamon note that I pick up in Frosted Spice or their Kitchen Spice candle. Not at all. The brown sugar is done very well in this as well. Brown sugar is always one of those notes that to my nose can very easily come across smelling scorched, but I don't detect any of that in this candle. I had mentioned in my candle chat, you know what this actually reminds me of? This actually reminds me a lot of the filling that you would put when you make homemade cinnamon rolls. So that brown sugar and butter and cinnamon mixture that you're putting in there, but then add a tiny little bit of apple to it. And that's what this fragrance smells like to me. I don't really get doughiness. I don't get a bready accord. I don't even get like a cookie or anything like that. So I guess, you know, the label could be a little bit misleading here because you've got all of these cookies. That's not what my nose is detecting. My nose is definitely just detecting predominantly cinnamon, brown sugar. It's sweet. And that sweetness, I think, is also coming a little bit from, like I said, that there's an apple note in this, but it's not fall apple. Really, really nice. But it's funny because I was burning this the other morning. I mentioned this in candle chat, but my youngest daughter walked out. She had gotten up and she walked out and she said, "Oh, did you make cinnamon rolls?" And I disappointingly told her, "No, I did not." And she was like, "Oh, it smells like them out here." She's like, "It smells really good." My family really, really likes this fragrance. So the fragrance itself, surprising hit. Let's go ahead and talk about the performance. So I'm going to go ahead and lift this up. You can see nice, beautiful wax pool we've got going on there. Nice, healthy flames. These ones are not dudding out. I will tell you that these wicks do get a little bit long, but I would still caution you about trimming 3 wicks. With Kringle, because some of my experience with their 3-wick candles is that I have gotten, especially past the halfway mark, sometimes those wicks do want to dud out or slow down quite a bit. So I would just say leave the wicks alone on a lot of these Kringle 3 wicks. This one in particular is not developing excess carbon at the end. You're not getting those giant carbon balls. So I would say just leave it alone. They are self-trimming. The wax is not discoloring. Very, very good burn. Nice even wax pool. Strength and throw on this candle, you guys, this one is very strong. I would give this one about a 9 in terms of strength and throw. And this one also starts to throw very quickly. So if you're like quickly going to be having company over and you want your house to smell good, light this one up because you can start smelling it within 10 minutes of lighting. It's been a very, very good performing candle, very pleasant in terms of strength and throw. And pleasant in terms of the fragrance itself. I've really been enjoying it. This is one that I actually might contemplate getting a backup of. I know that these are supposedly limited edition. They are, you know, once they're sold out, I don't see them repouring more of these candles, again, because they are kind of just being resourceful with this collection. But this one is very, very nice. I could see myself probably getting a backup of this as well as more of that banana loaf because I do love that banana bread fragrance. And, you know, once they're gone, they might be gone. So really like this one. Like I said, it is part of the 3 for 33 promotion. I am doing a little bit of pre-filming, so I am not sure yet what sales are going on over at Kringle. I anticipate that their Black Friday sale is probably going to be kicking off at any time now, if it has not already. But here's the thing, you guys, I do have an affiliate discount code with Kringle. It is Katie15. It will save you 15% off of your purchase with them. However, that is usually only applied to full price items. You can also apply it to your route protection. Say you're buying a bunch of, you know, sale candles. You can always type in my code and it'll save you a little bit of money on route if you choose to use the route protection feature. But yeah, you guys, this one is really, really good. So if you've been eyeing it, if the fragrance description that I'm giving sounds appealing to you, and once again, you guys, at $11, it's pretty good. I feel like this is exceeded my expectations for what I thought that I might be getting from this candle. So it does get 2 thumbs up from me. Don't let it fly under the radar for you. If you're putting together a Kringle order, maybe throw this one into your cart. Pick another 2, you know, from this collection, so that way you get that 3 for 33 pricing. But overall, you guys, this one definitely does get 2 thumbs up from me. Let me know in the comment section down below if you purchased this one. What are your thoughts? Do you detect a little bit of apple in here? Even though it's not listed, my nose smells some apple. Really nice. Is it a totally unique, never been done before fragrance? No. Is it one that gives you all of the cozy, nostalgic vibes? Yes. So therefore, for $11, I like it and definitely would consider repurchasing. So again, you guys, if you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.